Hello everybody, this is Louisa with Ellie Paper Studio, and I have a really sweet and fun project to share with you today. And I'm going to finish putting it together on camera. Sorry about any sudden camera movements. I'm still trying out different setups in my new craft room. Haven't quite figured out yet which one I'm going to stick to. So anyway, this layout I got inspired by, I wanted to do a baby layout. I have a lot of baby paper because I made a huge project for a friend of mine who was having a baby girl. So I have quite a bit of baby themed paper. And when I started, I actually started with these two materials, this pink and this paper. This is part of the paper pack, and the paper pack that this comes from, it's called the Preppy Princess Stack, and I love it because it's not your traditional baby elements. It's very soft pinks, purples, and greens, and oranges and yellows, so very beautiful color palette. And it's all about like a tea garden set, which I really like. So this is my original inspiration. If you take a look at the shape here, I really like how this looked, and this is what I used for kind of deciding what kind of photo mat I was gonna want at the end of the project. And this is what it came out to. As usual, I have all the materials and details if you want to recreate the same layout, and silhouette cuts and Cricut cartridges at the end on a picture, and also at my blog. So real quick, I actually used quite a bit of the advice I gave on my, I had a 5-video series of how to make scrapbooking affordable, and one of the tips was creating your own background paper. As you can see, I created this is a white piece of cardstock, and I actually I did 2 different background stamps. I used this one, which is a plaid background stamp, and then I used one that's a damask, a very detailed damask, and I ended up liking this one best. I used also Memento Angel Pink ink several times during the project, and I really like that ink. It's beautiful. It makes great ink with this with the white. So, and I know that I made a few oopsies, like here the impression didn't get on very well. There's a few gaps. So if I were to use this alone, definitely it may not be the best because you can tell a lot of mistakes. But once I put the layout together, you'll see how cute it is. Then as far as paper cuts, I used quite a bit of paper cuts. I used Kate's ABCs for all my cuts, actually, except for the frame that I was just showing you. So I used Kate ABCs to cut these ABC blocks. Then I used this little girl pushing a stroller with a dog and a cat in it. I thought it was really cute, or maybe 2 cats, I can't really tell. And then I used the paper shoes, and I embossed the paper. I used white cardstock but embossed it, and then I used some pattern paper for some of the cuts also, and for the ABC blocks. Then I have my mat. I stamped myself, again making use of that great advice of using background stamps to create your own pattern paper, and I used this one from Heidi Swap. I used the same Memento ink, and then used this yellow with a EK Success punch. I recently got these 2 punches. I got this one at Hobby Lobby, and it was on sale, and it's the EK large doily punch, and this one's the EK dotted large dotted punch, and then this is the EK regular dotted punch. And I feel like they're great additions if you can get a hold of these. I highly recommend them. As you can see, I used it on here, and then for this. And then I'll be using some stickers from my paper stash. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Also, I made these few bows, and with the Martha Stewart Monarch butterfly punch, I punched these butterflies out, and I'll be putting the layout together and putting it in fast forward for you to see. Okay, so this is a finished layout. I think it turned out really, really cute. Like I said, I used a lot more of my ATG just as a test trial of one, how economical because even though the tapes that I got, I was able to, let me backtrack. So on my last series of how to make scrapbooking more cost effective, I explained that using your ATG for scrapbooking may not always be the best idea because you use a lot of yardage because you're doing, especially if you're doing 12 by 12 layouts, and then if you add to that all the different layers that you'll be putting adhesive onto, and then all the different sides, it turns out to be quite a lot of yards. So that being said, I was also advised, and it's also kind of expensive if you go to Michael's to get these. I was told of a place that you can get them as cheap as, I want to say like 80 cents to 50 cents per yard. Granted, you have to buy a whole bulk of them. I didn't go that far. I went with the ones that would cost me about $2.50 to $3, which I believe it was 24 rolls of these. And it ended up being like $50. They don't charge for shipping and no tax. So I kind of want to test it out and see how many layouts and how many projects I can do with $50 worth of that adhesive. I do still continue to use my quick dry adhesive for my Cricut layouts and my silhouette cuts, because it just is a quick dry, really good adhesive, and it doesn't use too much. As far as this little cluster here, I added this last minute. I just felt like the layout needed a little bit of some special interest here in this corner. Hindsight 2020, after I put it together, I realized I really did not need it. I kind of liked how it was looking without it, but I also don't think I don't think it was terribly detrimental to the layout. I don't think it ruined it or anything. So I kind of just stuck it on there since I had done all the cutting already, or all the punching. And I used, as usual, my boho blossoms and some pearls. I do think that for baby projects, I love, especially for girl baby projects, I love using pearls. And then I really enjoyed putting this layout together. The cuts were, to be honest, kind of difficult to make. In fact, having to add, finding myself having to add some glue here because I use pattern paper, and pattern cardstock paper, it's really a white base with a printed top, so sometimes it can come apart like mine just did. But because I made this cut so much smaller, I think this ends up being a 2.5 inch cut. This, and it has a lot of little small intricate items. It ends up being kind of cumbersome to put this little girl together. Other than that, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, all of the materials will be listed at the end. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this inspired you. Thanks for watching.